Hi, I'm Kristen Connolly. I'm the elected clerk recorder and registrar of voters here in Contra Costa County. Over the next 2 months, high school students will be interviewing elected officials of their choice to learn more about their work. We hope you will enjoy this series we're calling Democracy Dialogues.
Hi, my name is Komal and I'm a current 11th grader at Marimani High School. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing Shanelle Scales Preston for Democracy Dialogue. So Shanelle, tell me a little bit about your job.
Yes, so this year I am currently mayor in the city of Pittsburgh. I've been serving as mayor since December of 2022. I started on city council in 2018, and in the city of Pittsburgh we rotate mayors. So every year we have a new mayor. So I'll go back to being a council member for 2024.
Awesome. So to my understanding, you were elected to city council in 2018. So this was before COVID, and I know a lot has changed since then, but tell me how you've navigated through your roles throughout COVID and now.
Yeah, so I'm a person, I love to be outside, attending events and community meetings. I enjoy engaging with people in our community. But during the shutdown, that all changed. And so we had to transition to how we have council meetings to Zoom. Before then, I didn't use Zoom much at all. To my surprise now, it's like my daily routine now, although I'm inside the office. But all of our council meetings went to Zoom. A lot of our community meetings, where if it wasn't a council meeting, we're just meeting with community members, that went to Zoom as well. And then we focused on how we can, do the best thing for our community. And so we, looked at different ways that we can help restaurants, some of our nonprofits and community-based organizations. And we figured out ways to do things outdoors once we learned more and, make sure we were masked up, but we were still having that interaction with each other.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure face-to-face interaction is definitely appreciated now, but you kind of touched on a little bit of the work you do in the community and in the city. So could you kind of emphasize a little bit about that?
Yeah. So Pittsburgh is a city where we do a lot of community events, which is something that, I feel like it helps bridge a gap where, a lot of us in East Contra Costa County, we spend a lot of time on the road, going to work, you're dropping off kids, you get home, but it's not a lot of social interaction with your neighbors as much. And I feel like community events help bridge that gap where, there's time to get to know your neighbor, get to know their kids, and, just to relax and enjoy your city. And sometimes we don't get a chance to enjoy the city without all the hustle and bustle of life. So that's one thing I have really worked on in our city to make sure we, bring community events, continue that, and not just for, the community overall, but also for our youth, our seniors as well. We want to make sure everyone is, enjoying the community in that way.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to kind of touch on how you balance more federal work with city work.
Yes, so my day job, I work for a member of Congress. I've been working for a member of Congress for 22 years, believe it or not. So right out of college, I started interning for Congressman George Miller. He represented this area for 40 years before he retired. But it was a great opportunity. When I was in college, I was very into looking at policy of how we can, bridge the gap of how we help others, right? And so I would make like these hygiene kits to like pass out to the homeless, and trying to figure out what can I do more about on the policy level, because if we make these structural changes, then maybe it wouldn't be like this, right? And so public policy, political science, that was my major. So I had a professor that was like, Shanelle, you know, you should go and work for your local congressman. And at the time, I didn't know who my local congressman was. I didn't pay attention to like who were my local elected officials in my area. And so I applied, I got it. And it was just an experience of a lifetime. I learned so much about, on a federal level, you know, what type of funding can be brought back to our community, how community-based organizations and nonprofits, you know, to connect the dots, and how we can get them to apply for federal funding, so that they are doing more service in their particular areas in the community to bring those funds back. And so that's what got me started, is because of the good work you can do in the community, and it's just rewarding.
Yeah, honestly. And I actually want to kind of go into that political field as well in the future. And I have a question, like, on behalf of like our youth and what we want to do when we're older, what steps can we currently take in order to achieve success in political fields and also just helping out our community?
Yes. So the first step is being engaged, like you are, yourself, and being able to interview different local electeds and learn what they're doing in their communities. I think we're always looking for a youth voice. It's very important. We just started a youth council 2 years ago. And that was something that came out of during COVID as well, when we put our youth council together, because we wanted to hear from the youth and what they want to see in their city and what type of events and programming that we should be putting funds towards. But not, if we didn't have the youth coming to tell us these things, we wouldn't know, right?
Right.
So I would say first is being engaged. You know, attend your local council meeting, you know, find out who is your county supervisor or your state representative, that's your state senator or assembly member, and then your congressman. And then the second part, I would say internships. I know in the congressional office, we have high school interns all the time that come during the summertime. And so it's a great way to get them out to attend community events with staff.
Yeah, definitely. And what do these roles look like with you when you kind of balance federal work, and you said that your job on the side with the city? How do you balance those?
It just works. So, you know, my daytime job working for the congressman, you know, I get to attend community meetings, community events. For example, I was out at a Habitat for Humanity event today on the behalf of the congressman, because he's in Washington, D.C. voting. But to see that 42 units of affordable homes are coming in Walnut Creek, that's a huge deal, given that our housing prices are, you know, to the roof right now.
Seriously.
So it makes it really tough for just, you know, a working person. I met a nurse out there, and she was, you know, excited to see something like that, and hoping that, you know, she can apply to maybe get one of the units. And so it's just thinking like everyone wants to be able to afford a home to purchase one day. And so things like that, you know, knowing that our office was able to help put funding towards that project, I think that's, you know, that's the rewarding part. Like, you can see things you put funding for, things you vote for, like in the city, we have an affordable housing project that's about to come online soon with 200 units.
Wow.
So that's 200 units of affordable housing to, you know, people who may have thought they wouldn't be able to rent because it's too high. And it's in walking distance from stores and BART, where you don't have to drive your car. So those are the things that I think are huge. Other things in the city that I'm very proud of, we just opened up our Marina Community Center. So it's a youth center. When I was a kid, it was a center that, youth was able to go to daily after school, or there were summer activities there. It was closed down and due to funding, and so it got to be reopened just in June. So we're excited about that, where the youth can have a place to go.
Yeah.
And it can kind of make it their own, right? Figure out what they want to see inside the center, what type of activities they want. So more and more things that we can bring to the city like that, I think, just wins for our community.
Yeah, you're creating opportunities, and I think you're really targeting serious issues that not only are directly in our city, in our county, but in our country. And I think that's really meaningful what you're doing. And I hope that what people can take away from this is how they can make a difference in their communities as well. So I thank you so much for being here today. I really enjoyed interviewing you and getting to learn a lot about what you do for our city, for our state for the most part. And thank you for being on Democracy Dialogues today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.